and I hadn't turned the microphone on. Let's just pretend none of that happened. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for Jump Around, our weekly cardio class, and I'm so confused right now. Hello. I have no idea what any of that looked like, Amanda. Did you see a weird split screen thing going on? Was I even appearing on the screen there? Because I have hit buttons that I don't know what they are in Streamlabs, and it's pissing me off. Anyway, hi everybody. Oh my god. There's actual like blue sky and sun outside, which is crazy considering how cold and sort of gray it has been all morning, which has been really wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I am here for the colder weather. It's a nice reminder that it's coming. In weird, at least it helps this thing, news, at least it helped to get some of the fires in Colorado under control. Because, it was snowing / raining all day yesterday, so plenty of precipitation happening. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I am a fan of basically every season except for summer. I have never been huge into super warm temperatures. I love wearing jackets. I love wearing pants. I love wearing fun shoes, and summer allows me to do basically none of that. So I am all here for the coming of winter and cozying up with lots and lots of tea and just, oh man, it's gonna be good. But yeah, I'm annoyed that I'm feeling so discombobulated because I've been feeling really productive today and like getting a lot of stuff done, and that's been really nice. And so it's really, you know how sometimes you're going along and everything is going perfectly, and then like one thing gets off kilter and then everything sort of snowballs, and that was basically my experience with Streamlabs for the last 10 minutes. So after I'm done, I need to figure out how to change my recording pathway back to where I had put it, because I've done that before, obviously, because I set a recording pathway for it, and today trying to get the stream up and going, I could not remember how I did it, so that's fun. But we're here. We are in front of our computers. We've got Twitch on. Hi, Steve. Yeah, lots of folks. And it's time for cardio, and let me tell you, it's cold. It is chilly in my apartment because there's no heat anywhere in the building, and it's okay. Hey, it's up to 43 degrees. That's exciting. It's been like 33 degrees for most of the day, so this is huge. But also, get out of the way. I'm stealing all my white balancing. Also, it's definitely going to be nice to move around. So let's do our pre-class checklist. Let's center ourselves, get ourselves grounded. We're here. We're ready to exercise. Pre-class checklist. We've got our water vessel. We've got our comfy clothes. We've got our mats. If you're using a fitness wearable, let's turn them on now. High intensity interval training or a setting akin to that. We basically use that for all of the classes except for the Friday ones. So, all right, my friends, we're here. There's some sunshine outside. It's not, apocalyptically red skies the way that it is in California right now. Yes, Boston, well known for its balmy tropical climate. Good grief. Don't worry, y'all will be having blizzard upon blizzard before you even know it. This is the earliest snowfall that I've experienced in Colorado, but Colorado is definitely known for having its first snowfall earlier than one might expect a first snowfall to occur. So, this is a little early even by Colorado standards, but not outside of the realm of possibility. But in order to warm ourselves up, we're going to do a lot of jumping around, lots of tabatas, lots of cardio. But first, we're going to start with our warm up. Let me get my speaker. All right. And we're ready to go. So everybody moving on to your mats. And we're going to get on our backs, one foot crossed over the opposite knee. And we're going to start with our hip rocks and bridges. As soon as you hear that horn go off. Hey, oh, good grief. Woo! I definitely worked pretty hard yesterday because I've got some weird little stiff and sore sections today. And I was like, man, I didn't feel like I was more intense than usual in class, but clearly I was ramping up some sort of intensity. So that'll be a fun thing to pay attention to. Oh man, all right, we're settling in. We're letting our brain sort of focus in here on the mat. As you know, I do not hold with the, leave everything at the door when you step on your mat approach, because that's simply not a realistic way to approach life or emotions. All right, switch feet. Most of us are not able to flip a switch on and off and stop, thinking about the things that we are experiencing in our lives, or, dealing with the emotions that they engender. But as we get going, as we, get on our mats and start this warm up, which, as I've said before, is an opportunity for us to boot up all of the systems, so we're not here trying to go fast, super fast and super powerful. We can also, start to settle our minds into the task at hand, basically. So not an ignoring of what we are experiencing, what we are dealing with, but as we lie on our sides and start doing our best Jane Fonda impression, more of an acknowledging where we're starting, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, and taking, making an attempt to say, all right, that's where I am. Now where can I go over this next hour? Let me try and focus my energy in on this small rectangle of space and my body moving through space, and activating and using my muscles for health and strength, and just see how well we can focus in. And some days that's easier than others. Some days, we get on the mat, we start the warm up. All right, top foot flat on the floor in front of the bottom knee, lifting the bottom leg. Some days we start the warm up and we're here. We're like, all right, this is what I'm doing right now, and it's going to be great. And that's sort of what I want to focus on. And some days it takes us a little bit to get there. It might take us the entirety of the warm up to get to a place where you're like, okay, I'm still, I still have a lot of stuff on my mind, but I feel like I can focus in on my exercise today. And sometimes we just don't get there. You can go through the entire hour of class and get to the end and be like, it's a miracle that I kept moving the whole time, And wherever you are on that spectrum, all right, foot behind the bottom knee, still lifting the bottom leg, is totally fine, you know? But the thing we don't want to do is try to ignore or delegitimize how we're feeling, because that immediately puts us in this adversarial relationship with our brain and our body. And that's not how we want to come to exercise. You know, this should be a partnership, you know, a collective activity. And so, you know, please don't ever feel like you are supposed to start by throwing out everything else that you are feeling and experiencing right now, because that's not at all what you need to do or should be doing, okay? All right, flipping over to our other side. Same 3 leg exercises over here, starting with Jane. Oh man. Yeah, definitely closing in on the season where warm, comfy socks and comfy slippers will be once again the norm in my apartment. It does almost make me wish that that I felt like it was safe to exercise in socks, because my feet are pretty cold right now, but it's just, I value the clear tactile understanding of the surface underneath my feet too much to make that attempt. So I guess I haven't said this in a while. Yeah, my recommendation is always either working out in sneakers or working out barefoot, depending on your preferences and your health needs. You know, if you have feet issues such as plantar fasciitis, then you are probably going to want to be exercising in sneakers for the added stability. Otherwise, you know, it's totally personal preference. I have trained as a dancer for long enough that I just feel more comfortable without wearing any shoes, but you do want one or the other. You don't want to be, or at least in my personal opinion, and why do you come to the stream if not to hear my personal opinion on everything? Exercising in socks is just, it's more dangerous because socks have way less traction than either bare feet or sneakers, but they also put an impediment between you and your ability to sort of take stock of the surface that you're working out on. And so you know, much more likely that you will slip, fall, hurt yourself, etc., than if you are either barefoot or in sneakers. So my recommendation whenever you're doing this class is either sneakers or bare feet, one or the other. And we are coming up on shifting into our back and hip section of the warm-up. Waking up, backs and hips, always wonderful. They don't get a lot of love when we're sitting in office chairs for hours on end. So now is our opportunity. Oh yeah, ow. To start waking up those back muscles, giving them a chance to move around, stretch out a little bit. Remember to keep your forearms planted on the floor and just really enjoy the stretch. And try and notice whether your flexibility has improved at all since you've been taking class, okay? So it's always good to do those check-ins and be like, I wonder, you know, what improvements I can notice. I can start to really actually experience as I'm doing class. And doing the same warm-up before each class makes it easier for you to understand what improvements there are, because you know exactly how all of these exercises feel. And so it is easier to notice when one of them feels easier. I am personally excited. A friend of mine stopped by today and dropped off this beautiful, beautiful book. It is technically an anatomy book more focused on use by artists who obviously need to have a good grasp of human anatomy, but it's also honestly going to be really useful for me because I've been wanting to do a deeper dive into the musculature of the human body. You know, I studied that when I was studying for my CPT exam, but I would like to do a deeper dive and really get a better sense of what specific muscles are being used and which parts of them are being used with all of these exercises that we know and love. So I am very excited to make my way through this behemoth of a book, sort of in tandem, I think, with my textbook from the exam. I think those two resources together will be super useful for me. So if I start using more specific musculature names in class, you'll know why. It's because I'm studying. And man, is that a fun thing to do. All right, here we are at our Samson stretches. Woo! Nice, sinking down into the hips, really wanting to feel that stretch along the front of the hip flexor. You take a nice deep breath while you're there. As you exhale, see if you can sink a little further into the stretch, okay? Make sure your knee is not pushing forward of your toes, okay? Which is harder to do when you're taking this really extended, long lunge position, but it's still something that's good to call out. You know, we don't want to be pushing our knee forward like that. You don't want your knee coming super far forward of your toes because it's not healthy for your knee. So many things are not healthy for your knees. But let me tell you, it's good to take care of our knees because they do a lot of work in helping us to be able to move around and keep leading active lives. And really, that's my goal here, is to help you all keep leading, as active a life and as healthy a life as you want to lead. So protect your knees. We're protecting them right now by making sure they're staying over the feet. A lot easier in this position when we have our hands on our knees. We don't have to worry as much about them caving in towards one another. But we don't always have our hands on our knees for these deep squat positions. So make sure that you are always thinking about that knee positioning, even if you're getting a little bit of a helping hand. All right, it's cardio warm-up time. Here we go, the last part of the warm-up, really getting ourselves ready for a class that is just gonna be wall-to-wall tabatas, basically. So that's why you're here. That's what you came for. Just a lot of really active exercises, jumping around, moving our bodies, working up a really good sweat, drinking all of our water, and then, refilling our water and drinking even more, and just enjoying ourselves on this Wednesday afternoon as we move It's midway through the week, so you know I like to have the cardio class here so that we can, you know, get a little bit of an energy infusion as we head into the back half of the week. All right. How are your kick-throughs feeling? Again, I know that a ton of you find kick-throughs to be one of the more complicated exercises that we do, and you're entirely correct. So make sure that you are comfortable with all of the components before you start putting the speed in, okay? So you do want to get to that speed at some point, but first you want to make sure that your shoulder's engaged, that your standing leg is at a 90-degree angle with the knee pointing up towards the ceiling, that you're not putting unhealthy pressures on your knee as you switch back and forth. So if you have to keep doing that exercise pretty slowly for a while, that is totally fine, because as you know, I would rather you give me 5 form perfect reps than 25 with bad form that may be setting yourself up for an injury. All right? So always remember that as we're going. I don't always remember to say that out loud. You know, I will definitely have classes where I am more actively pushing you to go faster, you know, put a little more power and speed into whatever you're working on. But I want you to always remember that, okay? Even if I don't say it out loud, I always would rather you do just a few really well done reps of an exercise than try to bang out a ton and do them incorrectly. All right? Yes, the water emoji. Or emote, I guess. I'm on Twitch. I need to get my terminology down. I'm a streamer now. Not the knees. Are you drinking your water? Water. All right, my loves. So we are indeed going to just be doing, well, I'm going to be pulling fistfuls of hair off of my head because I haven't gotten a haircut since February. And man, can I tell. I know. Believe me, I'm working on rounding that follower corner. And by working on, I mean just watching as I get a follower here and a follower there. We'll get there. We will absolutely get there. And, you know, I'm not in a rush because when you get into a rush, that's when you put way too much pressure on streaming than it can handle at the time. And I don't want to do that. I want to grow this space in a way that is fun and organic for me and for all of you. And we're getting there. Woo! All right. So many tabatas. They will all be 2010. So, as opposed to the hellscape that is 2020. No. They will all be 20 seconds of work to 10 seconds of rest. And we will go back and forth between having one single exercise that we're doing for the whole time and 2 exercises that we go back and forth on. So we're going to start with 2 exercises. And here they are. First one is going to be turtle plank. So whenever I say turtle, you know that the first part, rolling up onto your shoulders, then up onto your feet like this. Remember, if you can't get up onto your feet using just momentum, you can push yourself up with a hand. Then plant your hands, jump into this plank position, butt out of the air. Oh, this shirt is doing fun things. Shoulders directly over wrists. Jump your feet forward. And we're just going to go back and forth like that. So you're not doing a wave push-up or anything. You're just jumping into that plank position and then jumping your feet back forward and doing the roll. All right. Our other exercise is going to be bicycles. So this is a core exercise. So I'm going to have one knee in towards my chest, the other leg extended and off the ground. Engage those core muscles so that lifts your shoulders and chest off the ground. I've got my hands on either side. I'm going to bring my opposite elbow to this knee and then switch the legs, switch the elbow, and just go back and forth and back and forth. I don't like people putting hands behind their heads because that tends to exacerbate our tendency to try and pull ourselves forward when we do ab exercises rather than actually engaging the core muscles. So try and keep your hands by your ears, basically, and not touching your head. All right, so we've got turtle planks and we've got bicycles. So nice thing about a Tabata timer, our first sound does not mean go. It is our stop sound, getting us ready. Knock, knock, knock. All right, got to prep. We're going to be going in just a second. And here we go. So that's the point of the knocking sound, is to allow us to get into position. So the second we hear that fanfare, we are able to start moving immediately, okay? So, we can dirtle around, but as soon as you hear that knock, 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 get yourself ready, and here we go. So I'm moving immediately. I'm not wasting any of the 20 seconds that I've got to do these exercises, all right? It's nice to have the 2 exercise runs of these because it gives us a little more variation, which helps us to engage our brain a little bit more, which is always something that we like. But it's not an opportunity to sort of slow down. Doing 20-second work intervals means that we really can push ourselves for speed and power in a way that we can't necessarily in, say, a perpetual motion class. We can do that today because we are here at just doing quick 20-second bursts. The whole reason that the Tabata is a really great workout interval is because it does allow you to push harder than you might if you had to go for longer. You can push to greater extremes and then know that you will also get that rest in there, okay? Hey, we're halfway through. All right. Coming back around for some turtle planks. I have to keep stopping myself from doing a wave push-up, so don't worry if you are struggling to remind yourself that this is not a turtle wave, but is simply a turtle plank. I am also struggling to remind myself of that. So it's A-okay. All right. Getting ready for our bicycles. So, is your core engaged? Your core should be the thing keeping your shoulders and your chest off the ground, okay? Not pulling up with my arms, not pulling forward with my head. Your core. And I really want you to feel that difference. When we come back around, I'm going to give you a recommendation. All right? But first, let's do our last set of turtle planks. Hey, yeah. be as hard as they are. All right, get in a position and just engage your core so that I want you to really feel the difference. So lying flat on your back, engaging your core, it forces your shoulders and your chest to come off the ground, okay? If it doesn't, then you are either not engaging your core or you need to do some strengthening work on it. You know how much I love this stabilizing muscle group, so we want to help it. Okay. God, I haven't watched Corpline in ages, or listened to Corpline in ages. They need to make more episodes. I know everything's crazy, but I love that podcast so much. All right, our next Tabata, we will only have one exercise this time. So you will be doing the same exercise for all 8 of our repetitions. And that exercise is squat jumps. So, getting onto our mats, our feet are going to be about shoulder width, so a pretty wide stance. Coming down into the squat position, and then jump, jump, jump. So each time you land back in the squat. So I don't want you jumping, landing here, and then going down into the squat. First of all, because that's not the exercise. And second of all, because if you're landing like this, straight-legged, you are much more likely to jam your knees. And as we talked about earlier, we want to protect our knees. We like our knees. Our knees are our friends. All right, so everybody back to your mats. Remember, first down does not mean go. Isn't it lovely? For anyone who did perpetual motion yesterday, coming back to this class is such a treat because you're like, oh, I actually do get to rest and stop my movement a little bit, which then also gives us the opportunity to push a little harder during our 20-second intervals. So for our squat jumps, I do want you to be checking your knee positioning, okay? So as you come down into that squat, make sure that your knees are still going straight over your feet. And if they're not, if you're noticing them caving in, take a narrower stance, okay? Take a narrower stance, practice there, do the jumps there until you feel really confident that you can hang on to the position there. And then you can slowly start to expand the position back out again, okay? Again, form comes before almost anything, honestly. I mean, you have to do the exercises, but you have to do them correctly, because otherwise we're just setting ourselves up to injure ourselves. I know I sound like a broken record on that, but my friends, it's so much more wonderful to be able to be active and to go and do the things that we want to do. Go out for a walk if we want to. Go out for a bike ride or a run, or just get outside and garden a bit, or climb a mountain, or what have you. And if you are setting yourself up for injury here in this class, then you're going to put the kibosh on all of that, all of those awesome, awesome opportunities for movement and enjoying, you know, the wonders of nature and the wonders of what our bodies can do. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that. That's our muscular system. Isn't that crazy? Like, holy crap. How did something this ridiculously complex even evolve? I don't get it. It's amazing. It's really one of the things I find most thrilling about studying anatomy is just being taken aback and endlessly impressed by how ridiculously capable the human body is and how bizarre it is that we were able to evolve these complex systems for movement, for thought and cognition. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So there you go. You can tell I'm excited to get a little studying back in my schedule. All right, my friends, here's our final run of our squat jumps. Whew. Squat jumps are definitely an exercise that I find really intense. So if you are feeling like this is really intense, you are not alone, okay? Whew. You are not alone. It is really intense. So you should be extremely proud when you are able to do it. I got that particular exercise from watching a colleague in a session with one of her clients, and she had her clients do that jump on top of a Bosu ball, which is basically, if you haven't used that piece of equipment before, it's basically like a halved stability ball on a base. And so if you're doing squat jumps on that, not only are you having to do the jump, but each time you land, you have to navigate being able to balance on this extremely unstable curved surface. So it just adds this whole other level of complexity into the exercise. Whew. All right. So our next Tabata, going back to 2 exercises. First one is going to be us jumping rope without a jump rope, basically. So we'll have our arms mimic the movement, and we will just jump some rope here, okay? And then second exercise is going to be burpees, and I don't feel like I need to go into detail on that because we've already done burpees. So I trust you to remember everything that you need to for that. All right, back on our mats. Hopefully you got that last sip of water. Knock, knock, knock. Get into position for our jump rope without a jump rope. And here we go. And since we are jumping rope without a jump rope, we can go for speed that we might not be able to achieve with a regular jump rope because we're not worried about tripping over the damn thing. So really take advantage of that for our jump ropeless jump ropes. All right, back to our burpees. Remember, wave push up, okay? So from this plank, wave, jump, and a nice big victory clap up at the top, okay? So always keeping that in mind as we go forward. You're cheering yourself on, basically. So, you know, you don't want quiet little sad clap. You want, yeah, you know, maybe give an actual cheer. You can do that. You're in your living room. You're not disturbing anyone, all right? So go ahead and give yourself a huge cheer when you do that jump and clap because you're doing a great job. And damn it, you deserve a cheerleading squad. We all deserve cheerleading squads at various points throughout the day. And I will stand by that. When I was in high school, I was incredibly snobbish about cheerleaders, and really judgy in ways that I'm kind of ashamed to remember. Or not kind of, I'm ashamed to remember, because cheerleading is no joke. That is an intense physical activity that has to be done while also, you know, cheering and pepping up an entire stadium worth of people. And I don't think I could do that. I'm happy just cheering on people that I can't see from the safety of my living room. To be able to cheer people on in front of, you know, tens of thousands of sports fans is just, while also, you know, dancing and doing these incredible flips and jumps and catches, and I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So if you, like me, used to be a little obnoxious and snobbish about cheerleaders, I recommend rethinking that, because they are impressive damn athletes, and they have to do all of that with cheerful smiles on their faces. So here's to cheerleaders. We appreciate them a lot more now than we did when we were younger. All right, this is our last time through these exercises, so really going for speed on our imaginary jump rope, jumping up and down, maybe doing a little double twirling of the rope. I don't know, it's been a while since I've used an actual jump rope. Not since I was able to go to the boxing gym that I was going to for a while, because jump rope was part of the warm-up sequence there, but obviously I haven't been able to go there in a good long while. All right, good job, everybody. Good job. Whew. It's water time. Oh yeah. The plants are still inside. I think they are enjoying my teaching. I'll probably put them back out in the next, maybe not tomorrow, but I think by Friday it'll be warm enough again that I can put the box back on the porch for the last month or two of the growing season. It is lovely having green things, though. All right, my dears. Next Tabata, we're going back to one exercise, and that exercise is going to be turtle jumps. So we've basically already done all of the components of this at this point. We've already done a turtle exercise. So we're just gonna roll up on our shoulders, roll up on our feet, and then just jump, come back down, and repeat. Okay? So as I fall backwards. So that's all we're going for there. It's fun. I mean, you know how much I love these turtle exercises. I just think they're such great fun, and they give us an opportunity to, you know, roll around like when we were kids, and just being able to move your body for the sheer fun of it. And we lose that a lot as we become adults. So whenever you find an exercise that allows you to recapture some of that, I highly recommend taking advantage of that so that you can really get to enjoy the sensation. Woo! I wish that we had, you know, room to do like somersaults and stuff, but I definitely do not have enough room for that here in my living room. And I'll hazard a guess and say that most of y'all don't either. So, you know, we'll stick with our turtle exercises, and someday we'll just have to gather together in a park and just do somersaults everywhere. And cartwheels, cartwheels are so fun, so much fun. That's one of the few, like, when I was still living in upstate New York, that's the one time in my life that I, you know, lived on a neighborhood, like lived on a block that was really, you know, that sort of 50s ideal of everybody hanging out, all the kids running around and playing. And, you know, at Christmas time, we would go caroling up and down the street. And every year, there's a huge block party and all of that stuff. And there were a bunch of us who were similar ages. You know, I was the oldest, I think, out of the group, and then everybody else was 2 to 4 years younger than I was. And we would, you know, we would go to the yard, the huge, like, corner yards of people who we didn't even necessarily know, and just practice our somersaults and our cartwheels. And, like, that is the reason that I know how to do, like, one-handed cartwheels and stuff like that. And those are just really, really delightful memories, you know, just feeling that sense of connection to the people around you. And it's something that is a lot harder to capture, I think, in most places in America than it used to be, which is sad, you know, because it's really wonderful to be able to build those communities that are right where you live, you know. And the beauty of the internet age is that we can build communities with people who are hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. And that's incredible. But there's also something so powerful about being able to build a community with the people who live next door to you, or right down the road, or, you know, 7-minute bike ride, or what have you. And I've recaptured some of that here in Colorado, which is really wonderful. And I highly, highly recommend trying to recapture that magic. Oh no, sorry about that, friends. The timer is done. I was receiving a call. That's no good. All right. I was like, that felt like a bit more time than usual, and I was right. Okay. So, how's everybody doing? Still drinking your water? Hydrating? This is our cardio class, so it's always important to hydrate, but it is particularly important to hydrate today, okay? Because we are jumping around, we're sweating a ton, and we want to make sure that we are hydrating ourselves this whole time, okay? So, what are our next 2 exercises going to be? Well, I can tell you because I'm the teacher, so I actually know. All right, our next 2 exercises are going to be side-to-side mat jumps. So starting on one side of your mat, if I start on the left-hand side of my mat, I'm going to stand on that left leg, let my right leg just cross gently behind me. I'm going to get this tea tray out of the way so I don't kick it while I'm jumping, because that would suck. And then just jumping back and forth from one end
of my mat to the other. And then the other exercise is going to be jumping jacks, but full jumping jacks. So in our warm-up, we do, bare minimum jumping jacks. This time, I want bigger arms and bigger jumps out to the side, okay? All right, I'm gonna get that timer going, and then I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss an important call. All right, there you go. That is not our start sound. That is our get ready sound. And then, hey, we are off. So doing those side-to-side mat jumps, my friend, / friends, because there's a ton of you. Yes, side-to-side mat jumps happening right now. Remember that when you put the hand down, you're not actually putting weight on it. You're just tapping it down on the mat, okay? All right, getting ready for our jumping jacks, and we're gonna put more power into these so they will feel a little more intense than our warm-up version does, okay? I'm still keeping a bend in my elbows because, as you know, shoulder issues, so trying to move my arms at that speed through the air while they're straight is not great for me. I will generally start to feel some twinging in my shoulder, so I find it safest for me to modify that exercise and just keep a bend in my elbows while I'm doing it. But for the rest of you, if you do not have that issue, then do try to keep your arms straight as you're moving them through the air. But if you need a modification, know that that is a modification that you can make, okay? All right, my friends. We are moving along. We are halfway through. And we're coming back around for mat jumps. So remember, your goal is to make it all the way to the other side of your mat, okay? So maybe you're not there today. Maybe you can only make it 3/4 of the way. That's fine. Know that you want to build up to being able to make it all the way to the other side of that mat in one single jump. Keeping in mind though, spatial awareness, very important, okay? We do not want to be jumping and not paying attention to what's around us and then kicking into a bookcase and knocking over expensive electronics, etc., etc. So always keep that in mind. And if that means that you can't jump as far, then that's totally fine. That is you being safe about your exercise. And we want the same spatial awareness when we're in a gym, because when we're in a gym, we're surrounded by people and we're surrounded by super heavy equipment, and we want to make sure that we're not jamming our feet into a rack of dumbbells. But at home, it is still important, if not more important, because our living rooms or our bedrooms or wherever we have set up to do class, these are not spaces that are generally designed for exercise. So it is important that you keep an eye on everything around you and are able to make whatever adjustments you need to make. Okay? All right. My dears,
We've just got one more tabata to go. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. What are we gonna do for this tabata? Well, we're gonna do some flying chickens because I really enjoy flying chickens. It's just such a silly exercise, but it's so fun. And it's one that we can really push for speed and power here in this last tabata as we're heading into the end of class, okay? Make sure you're drinking your water. I'm gonna adjust the blinds a little bit so I'm not getting these weird streaks of light. Okay, so quick recap, flying chickens. The jump differs from our jumping jacks jump because in a jumping jack, we jump out and land and then jump in and land. For flying chickens and their cousins, star jumps, we jump up, our feet come out apart in the air, but we land back where we started. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Okay? And then for our arms, just taking our thumbs at about chest height. If you wear a bra, hooking your thumbs behind your bra straps, super effective. And we're just flapping our elbows majestically as we go about this process of closing out our cardio class. All right, so everybody back to your mats. Remember, we are going for speed more than size. So you don't have to be moving your feet really far apart in the air because that's going to slow you down. I would rather you do smaller jumps and are able to fit more of them into the timer, okay? So just keep that in mind as we're going along. Here we go, getting through our first 20-second timer. All right, 1 down, 7 to go. Here we are, my friends. We are in the final countdown for class. All right, we have been jumping, we have been doing all sorts of cardio, getting our heart rates up, getting our breathing rate up, sweating like crazy, rehydrating because we're sweating, and now is the time for us to really dig in and go, okay, what else do I have? What energy have I stashed away somewhere? You know, I've been trying to make sure that I can make it through class, which is great. It's important. And now it's time to grab all of those hidden energy stores and just use them up, okay? We have nothing else that we are trying to save that energy for. We're here. It's the end of class. I want you to take all of that energy and leave it all here on your mat in your living room. You do not need to hang on to any of it. And let me tell you, the stronger you get, the more you take class, the more you will realize how quickly that energy replenishes itself. Not the actual energy stores, you know, that's a physiological system. It takes 24 hours for us to replenish our glycogen stores. That's not something that speeds up with exercise, but you can be here taking class and, you know, pushing yourself as hard as you can. End of class comes, you've collapsed on your mat, and you're like, oh my God, I have no energy left. And then a minute later, you can feel fine again, okay? That comes with time, that comes with practice. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. It's not even something that is necessarily going to happen within the first, you know, few months or years, you know. It may take a while, but let me tell you, it is so exciting when you get to that place where you can take a class like this and you know that you are giving it every bit of energy that you have, and you can get to the end of it
and go, oh wow, you know, I know that I was just pushing myself as hard as I could, and yet I still feel like I can walk down those stairs and walk out to my car and not feel like I'm gonna be hobbling or panting and exhausted for the rest of class. And then someday, you too could become an instructor and teach classes on Twitch and discover the joys of being able to do all this ridiculousness while talking the whole damn time. But you know what? Until you get there, I want you to just push yourself as hard as you can and know that I am cheering you on from my living room to your living room. And that's a wrap, as we might say. Good job, friends. I don't have a ton of time for stretching, but I do want to stretch out the necks a little bit. So, sorry. All right, let's just do a little bit. Standing here in our mat, in the center of our mats. Nice, stable position. And just let your chin come down to your chest. We're keeping everything else standing straight up and down, and basically just releasing the muscles of the neck so that gravity can help pull the head down. And then we're going to look up, but I don't want you raising your chin super high to look up, because that starts to crunch the top of your spine. So look up, but keep your eyes looking sort of in a diagonal ahead of you rather than trying to look for a spot directly above your head, okay? So that way you can raise your head and look up, but not crunching down on your neck. And we're just going to go back and forth, down and up, down and up. Just go back and forth a few times, okay? And now bring your head to a neutral position. We're going to look to our right, over our right shoulder, back through the center, and over to our left shoulder. So just back and forth, back and forth, and keep going. It's a great opportunity for us to really take some nice deep breaths, get our breathing and our heart rates back under control, while also not giving up all of our muscle engagement and flopping down to the floor. All right, back to that neutral position. We're gonna let the head fall over to the side so my ear is pointing down towards my shoulder. And I'm gonna take that same arm, bring it up, put the hand on the other side of my head, and I'm not pulling down. I'm literally just relaxing my arm muscles enough that gravity pulls down for me, and we're getting a nice stretch along the scalenes, okay? So nice deep breaths while you're here. Remember, we're not yanking down on our heads. We're really letting gravity do the majority of the work, which I know is unusual for me. Usually I tell you to fight against it. Today, I am telling you to work with it. All right, release that hand, bring the head back up to center, and then other side, same thing. Again, we're not pulling down on the head, and we're still trying to keep the shoulders pretty square, so not letting the opposite shoulder start to really rise up on that side, okay? Just really enjoy the stretch along your scalenes. Oh. Anybody else singing Hamilton in their head, or am I the only musical theater nerd here? All right, release that. I'm not going to do the laying down quad stretch today. I know, blasphemy. So let's just do a quick standing quad stretch. So standing on one foot, if you need a wall for balance, that's totally fine. Grab one of your feet, the non-standing leg foot, in your hand. Pull that heel up to your butt as close as you can. Feel that nice stretch along your quad, all right? Just hold that there for a little bit. Nice deep breaths. I've just got a hand on the counter to help balance me, so that I'm not putting a lot of energy into maintaining my balance and doing the quad stretch. But if you don't have that and you have the balance, you can also just do that, okay? And then other side. Woo. Oh yeah, nice quad stretch. This is a good quad stretch. The reason I prefer the other one is because it's easier to sink into it slowly and gently so that you are not as much likely to activate the muscle that you're trying to stretch. Because we've talked about that. We've talked about how when we're activating the muscle, what the muscle naturally wants to do is contract. And when we're trying to stretch, that presents a problem. But that is still a great version of that quad stretch if you don't feel like lying down on the floor every time. I would love to have a vast lair. I don't know that it's going to happen anytime soon, but someday I will have a vast exercise lair. I don't even know what that would look like, but it'll exist. I'm excited. All right, my friends, that is the end of class. Polishing off my water there. Thank you for being here and sticking through the weird technical issues at the beginning of class. Now I need to figure out what the hell is going on with Streamlabs, which is annoying, but you know what? We'll make it work. But yeah, it's always so wonderful. I love this class. It's just a really great burst of energy midway through the week. We can feel really tired when we get to Wednesday, kind of run down, and there's still 2 more days of the work week to go. So getting a little burst of energy and exercise in is, it rarely goes amiss, I would say. We've got 2 more classes coming up this week. We've got Functional Home Fitness on Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I almost said Eastern. Nope. 6 p.m. Mountain Time, as all of my classes are. That's the class where we do weight training using objects you can find around the house. And then Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain is the weekend kickoff, which is an awesome strength and stamina focused bodyweight class. So hopefully I'll see y'all on one of those streams. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and those handles will be up on the end card to the stream. My YouTube channel, Blanche Case Fitness, is where the VODs for these streams are uploaded every Sunday. I put up the VODs from the just past week. And there's also going to be a lot of supplemental materials going up there. So definitely head over there and subscribe if that's your jam. If you enjoyed yourself and feel financially able to, help me keep making these, I do have a Ko-fi account. Blanche Case Fitness donations are always appreciated, never required. And if you want to help me unlock the ability to have custom emotes on my channel, as well as a variety of other things, and just in general helping to grow this awesome community, then please do give the channel a follow. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell your enemies, anybody who's looking for a good workout in the comfort of your own home, so that you can avoid getting hit by the plague or getting hit by a wildfire or just
all the other things that we're dealing with. 2020, man. Holy crap. But yeah, please do follow this channel because this is so much fun. And we got lots more stuff to come. So, all right, my dears, have a great rest of your night. Make sure that you're hydrating. Make sure that you eat a delicious dinner. And I will see some of you back here on Friday. Mwah. Have a great night.